All right, so drive shaft, front diff. Got some coolant hoses right here. This is actually a nice little upgrade that Underground does, right? This isn't factory.
What is it?
So we gotta run. Where do you run the clutch line then? Where does it go?
So you run it back here. Back here.
How do you know?
And then it goes over to the right there.
Oh, you've seen it before?
Well, I mean, that's how it is in all the diagrams. I never had to take one apart. See this coolant line right here?
Yeah.
That's no bueno. That's gotta move somewhere.
All right, so what we're doing here is that from the factory, I guess they swapped the holes. They drilled it over here. This is the way it's supposed to be. So I guess Fernando, whoever did this,
Fernando.
Mr. Mozzarella, that one over there is actually off an original car. It just needs to be pushed to the side for a second. See where it's hitting? You can probably just pull it down and then I shove it in there and you just pop it back in. It's taking so long. I don't have time for this.
Me neither.
There you go. It's in. But you know we're gonna have to pull it back out so we get the cables on there.
What we might do is just take this coolant line, move it to the right side, and then things should fit a little bit smoother.
Send me to
How's that sit?
I mean, it's definitely pushing up against the hose,
That's what I was saying.
but I don't think it's pinching it where it's like, I just don't want anything to vibrate and cut the hose and it leaks.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
All right, Dave, where are we at?
Shifting cables.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, so we just ran the clutch line. I would say this is probably the biggest pain in the you-know-what ever, right?
Not the best.
So, being the fact that if you look, we had to like make our own, what would you call this? Mount bushings to separate, because right there where that zip tie is, yeah, it's ghetto, but there's supposed to be a little bracket that holds it in that little hole, and we can't find it on the parts finder, so I'm gonna go to the dealer tomorrow to see if Ryan can help me, but for now, we kind of just made it like that. Clutch line runs over, down. On the factory, it actually kind of runs up a little bit more that way, but you have to basically bend this hard line, because it's not a soft line like this. Like, you know, a braided soft line, it's, you know, converts to a hard line here, runs up underneath. I don't know if you can see it back in there. Then we have to run it basically under the manifold, comes back through here, and it connects right here. This is how factory is. And basically from here on, it's factory. We removed all this piping, as you can see here. Gives you a little bit extra room to move. Like, it basically runs all along. It's up under there. It's right here. It goes over there. I kind of place it on that, sticking out, comes up, and there's supposed to be like a bracket here that holds it on the factory manuals. Let me get that shot. It's like up there somewhere, and I couldn't find that again. So what I did is I zip tied it here to this line, so it's out of the way of this front axle, and you can see it come here, and it goes up, and successfully, you can see the braided line up there. It goes successfully into the cabin. All right, so boom, done. Now what we have to do is run the shift cables that literally, the manual box comes out here. They start, I would say, like around here, goes back up. Oh, so got the video.
They're run right through there. See, here's the difference though.
Oh, it runs through here, inside here.
This coolant line, see how large it is? I'm quite confident this is from EBR for that coolant. Correct.
So it's upgraded.
So this coolant line and this coolant line, that's why we're running into so much tight issues with this.
Well, that's why the car runs so much cooler.
Well, to run 1600 horsepower, you need Moss cooling.
Moss cooling, everybody. This is definitely aftermarket because it says Toyota.
Yeah.
All right, while Dave does that, I'm gonna show you guys where it runs through here. It's basically the pedal assembly removed. This is my passport. There's a bunch of wiring here that was actually running through, what do you call that? Grommet hole? There you go. This I have to kind of wind back up and put it back up in there, but we wanted to run the passport with the same hole that the hydraulic line runs through and the line that brings the fluid into the cylinder. Same gas pedal. As you can see, there's a lot missing up here. Remove the, I guess you'd say, the tunnel console, center console. I don't know what they use for it, the terminology in Lamborghini. Oh, there's Dave's hand. So this is a big pain in the ass. So I see why shops charge a lot of money for this. I think they charge like $20,000 on average. I would say wholesale it's about $12,000, so retail you're looking at 14 to 16 I think for the parts. So they're probably charging around, what would you say, Dave, like $6,000 in labor? At this point, you know what? Probably pay someone to do it, but I like being able to say that we did it. Not many people have done this before, on their own. But I'm lucky Dave's here to help me because he's got the experience. Huh? You don't? Oh, this has to go back together. So what are we doing now?
Well, I think I found the factory hole where that eyelet's supposed to mount, but again, this sweet coolant line is very much in the way. But I do think we can readjust it over here.
Okay, we're gonna move this. Got a little surface rust on that Volkswagen Audi alternator. You guys want the part number? Oh, look at the Lamborghini, the Bull logo on the block. So we're gonna have to run those cables. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We might have to move all this stuff out of the way. It shows how it comes around the block. These fuel, I mean, these oil lines are in the way. No bueno.